Good morning friends, I am here discussing the topic is hazardous waste management regarding environmental law. Hazardous waste management, it is defined as hazardous waste legislations. Hazardous waste management and handling rules was enacted in 1989 and notified under Environment Protection Act 1986. It was amended in 2000 and then after again it was amended in 2003. The Hazardous Waste Management and Handling Rules 1989 and amendments made thereafter are now suspended by the new rules. It is defined as Hazardous Waste Management, Handling and Transboundary Movement Rules 2008. First we will see the definition of hazardous waste. Hazardous waste is defined as any waste which by reason of any of its physical, chemical and reactive, toxic, flammable, explosive or corrosive characteristics causes danger or is likely to cause danger to health or environment, whether alone or when in contact with other waste or substance, and shall include waste listed in Schedule 1, 2 and 3 of the rules of hazardous waste. Is how we can decide if the waste is hazardous or not. By waste is hazardous if first one it is listed in Schedule 1 first or not, second one, or if it is false in Schedule 2 after analysis required for the purpose of regulation of the import and export rules. A waste is considered as hazardous if it listed under Schedule 3 of this hazardous waste rules. This waste is covered under, first one is Water Act 1974, second one is Air Act 1981, second one MSW Rules 2000, it is Municipal Solid Waste Rules 2000, BMW Rules, it is Biomedical Waste Rules 1998. Next one is Batteries Manufacturing and Handling Rules 2001, Merchant Shipping Act 1958, waste arising from ships beyond 5 kilometers of relevant baseline. This is not covered under hazardous waste manufacturing, handling and transboundary management rules. This is the types and nature of hazardous waste. First one is, there are three types. First one is recyclable, second one is incinerable, third one is land disposable. First one is recyclable, means what? Waste having potential for recovery of useful or valuable material. Examples: metal bearing rods, ash or used oil, etc. Second one is desirable waste. It is waste having high calorific value, mainly organic waste like solvents, starch or space, organic products, etc. Third one is land disposable. It is waste that can neither be recycled or incinerated. It is called land disposable. Next one is storage of hazardous waste. Till disposal for recycling, treatment or landfilling, hazardous waste are to be stored on site in the bags or containers in a covered area. Or second one, storage permitted for a period not exceeding 90 days. This storage is not permitted more than 90 days. SPCB, it is Central Pollution Control Board, may extend the storage period in case of first one, small generator generating hazardous waste up to 10 per annum. Recycler, second one, recycler, sponsors and facility operators up to 6 months of their annual capacity. Generators who do not have access to any transportation, storage, disposal facility in the consent state. Transportation of the hazardous waste. Hazardous waste are to be properly packed and labeled for transport to ensure safe handling. Hazardous waste containers shall be marked as per Form 12 of this Act. Information on hazardous nature of waste and measures to be taken in case of emergency shall be provided to the transporter in Form 11. Transport to be in accordance Motor Vehicles Act 1998 and related guidelines. This is the manifest in Form 13 for transportation. The occupier shall prepare 6 copies of the manifest in Form 13 comprising the color code indicator below. And this is first one, transportation storage disposal and facility operator is that it is TSDF operator. Whenever he is supplying the goods to the transporter, this form must be in orange color, and whenever the transporter is supplying the form must be in yellow color to the waste generator, and whenever the waste generator is supplying this to the Central Pollution Control Board, it must be in a white color, and whenever TSDF operator supplying the goods, the form must be in a green color, and whenever the TSDF operator supplies this goods to the waste generator, it must be in a blue color. Disposal methodology of the hazardous waste is like this. First one is recyclable waste to be sold to actual recycler authorized for processing the particular hazardous waste. Note, Central Pollution Control Board registration required for non-ferrous metal waste used and waste oil, e-waste, ink waste, paint waste, etc. as listed in Schedule 4. Incinerated waste may be incinerated on site in captive incinerator or common hazardous waste incinerator. Note, Central Pollution Control Board standard and guidelines to be followed for the operation of the incinerator. Next one is disposable waste to be disposed in authorized hazardous waste disposal facility to be stabilized before disposal if required. This is waste stabilization process. Responsibilities of occupier whenever it is hazardous waste generator, recycler and TSDF operator. First one, to obtain hazardous waste authorization, to obtain hazardous waste registration, to obtain Central Pollution Control Board permission for utilization of hazardous waste, to treat or dispose their waste on their own or through common TSDF, to store hazardous waste in an environmentally safe manner till disposal, to maintain record of storage, sale, transfer, recycling and reprocessing of hazardous waste as per in Form 3. Next one is responsibility of occupier is important in whenever it is hazardous waste generator, recycler and TSDF operation. First one is to maintain manifest system for waste transportation disposal, to submit annual returns up to 30 June of every year, to report accidents related to hazardous waste. Next one, responsibility of Central Pollution Control Board to grant, refuse or cancel hazardous waste authorization, to prepare inventory of the hazardous waste generating units and quantum of hazardous waste generation, to monitor hazardous waste generating units for ensuring safe storage, treatment and disposal of waste, to analyze the waste characteristics in order to decide its nature. Responsibility of Central Pollution Control Board to grant registration to the hazardous waste recycler, to approve the design and layout of a proposed TSDF as per Central Pollution Control Board guidelines, to monitor the setting up and operations of TSDFs, to regulate import of hazardous waste, to grant registration to the traders of import of hazardous waste, to ensure re-export of illegally imported hazardous waste authorization, who needs this authorization? All units occupy generating, handling, collecting, receiving, treating, transporting, packaging, storing, selling, recycling, reprocessing, recovering, reusing and disposing hazardous waste needs hazardous waste authorization. As registration of hazardous waste recycling units, who needs this registration? All units recycling or reprocessing hazardous waste specified in Schedule 4 needs registration of recycling units. They have to fulfill this recycling units registration by first one filing application in Form 5 to the Central Pollution Control State Pollution Control Board, needs CFE in case of fresh application and valid CFO carry forward order and hazardous authorization in case of renewal. Registration used by SPCB in form of a passbook mentioning hazardous waste type and quantity permitted for purchase. Sale and auction of hazardous waste listed in Schedule 4 sell only to units having valid registration, can be sold to any registered units in the country. Each sale to be endorsed in original passbook of purchase issued by the State Pollution Control Board to check waste type specified in the original passbook, to check whether purchaser has capacity to process the quantity available for sale or not. Next one is import export of hazardous waste. There is first one is important agencies MOEF. It is Ministry of Environment and Forest. It is the nodal agency for import and export of the goods of hazardous waste. Schedule 3 to be used for regulating hazardous waste of import export. Export and import ban on 30 items. It is listed under Schedule 4. So Schedule 6. Import have been permitted only for recycling, for recovery or reuse and not for disposal. Export may be allowed to an actual user of the waste or operator of a disposal facility with the prior informed consent of the importing country. Waste listed in Part D of Schedule 3 can be imported by the traders registered with the SPCB on behalf of the actual user. Hazardous waste import export procedure is that this is the application by importer or exporter in the form of Form 7 in Form 8. It is submitted to the central SPCB. One copy is given to SPCB. Second one, SPCB give the copy to MOEF. It is Ministry of Environment and Finance. And then after permission of NOC is given, one copy is given to Central Pollution Control Board. Second copy is given to the port office and next copy is given to the customers. Illegal traffic is important in the import export. Any import or export of hazardous waste without prior permission of the central government or through submission of false information or not telling with movement documents according 5(9), it is called as illegal traffic. For illegal importer has to re-export the waste at his cost within 90 days of the arrival. Responsibility of importer and exporter to submit Form 7, Form 8 to MOF with copy to SPCB prior to import or export. Obtain PIC and submit along with Form 7 and 8 in case of import and export of waste listed in Schedule 3 of the Part A. Responsibility of the importer and exporter to ensure that movement document Form 9 accompanies the assignment, to inform SPCB and CPCB in advance regarding date and time arrival of the consignment of the importer. This is all for the hazardous waste. Thank you for this.